My name is Laura, and I'm 33 years old. I work as a freelance web designer from home, which is quite different from my previous job as an office worker. I enjoy the flexibility of freelancing, and it's nice to be in control of my schedule. My husband, Jerry, is 6 years younger than me. He works in sales for a home appliance company, which means he's often on the move. We're quite different in how we approach work. I like to get things done quickly and efficiently on my computer, while Jerry is more steady and takes his time to ensure quality. He's a bit clumsy at times, but I find that part of him endearing. I love his patience, his dedication, and the way he always puts family first. We met at a group dating party, which I only attended because they needed more people. I wasn't expecting to meet anyone special, but to my surprise, Jerry was interested in me right from the start. He wasn't bothered by the age difference at all, and told me outright, "I like you." I wasn't interested initially. After all, he was younger, and I didn't think we would have much in common. But Jerry was persistent, and eventually I started to feel the same. He was charming in his own way, kind-hearted, and incredibly family-oriented, which is one of the things I love most about him. Jerry has a younger sister named Olivia, who is 8 years younger than him. When we first started dating, she was just 15, still in middle school. Olivia was a surprise baby, much younger than her siblings, and the apple of her family's eye. She was a bright student, and her teachers always spoke highly of her. Jerry was incredibly proud of her, but also a bit worried. His parents wanted Olivia to attend a prestigious private high school, but financially it was a strain on the family. Jerry had worked hard to get through college, and sending Olivia to private school would be an even greater burden. Despite this, his parents were determined to give Olivia the best opportunities, hoping she wouldn't have to endure the same struggles they had faced as farmers. To support his parents, Jerry worked part-time on weekends and saved whatever he could. I admired his dedication, and it made me realize how mature he was, even though he was younger than me. Looking back, I think Jerry and his parents were putting a lot of pressure on Olivia, but at the time, I thought it was just their way of caring for her future. Jerry's devotion to his family is what made me fall in love with him. 3 years after we started dating, Jerry and I got married. It's been a year since our wedding, and we're still enjoying our life as newlyweds. We haven't had any major arguments, and I get along well with his family. Life feels stable and happy. However, there is one thing that bothers me: Jerry's relationship with Olivia. This fall, Olivia started high school at the prestigious school her parents wanted, which was far from their home in the countryside. She moved to an apartment close to ours, and Jerry's parents asked him to look after her. I understood why they wanted him to help, but Olivia was constantly at our place. "Jerry, are you home?" she would call out, barging in whenever she felt like it. She would hug Jerry, smiling brightly while he looked a bit uncomfortable, though I suspected he secretly enjoyed her affection. Watching them, I felt a pang of jealousy. I tried to tell myself that it was just sibling affection, but there were moments when her presence felt intrusive. "Olivia, would you like some tea or juice?" I would ask, trying to be polite. "Tea," she would reply curtly, her tone always feeling a bit off. I wanted to tell her to be more polite, but I held my tongue. Instead, I said, "I can make it for you this time, but next time, you'll have to do it yourself. I'm working from home, and I can't just drop everything whenever you visit." I hoped she would understand, but her attitude towards me seemed to get colder. I noticed the way she looked at me when Jerry wasn't around. Her eyes were cold, her expressions calculated. I tried to ignore it, but it was becoming increasingly difficult. One day, while Jerry stepped out to take a phone call, Olivia's demeanor changed entirely. Her smile vanished, and she looked at me with disdain. "Why did someone like you marry my brother?" she asked, her voice dripping with malice. "You're not good enough for him. Did you blackmail him or something?" I was taken aback, but tried to stay calm. "Well, maybe I know a big secret about your brother," I replied playfully, trying to diffuse the tension. "What nonsense," she muttered, clearly annoyed. Olivia continued to belittle me, questioning my worth and mocking my job. Working from home probably pays the same as a part-time job at a convenience store, she sneered. I was shocked by her words. She had no idea about my work or my earnings, but I decided not to engage. It wasn't worth the argument. When Jerry returned, Olivia's attitude flipped again, and she became her cheerful self. It was exhausting dealing with her, but I kept quiet, not wanting to create conflict between Jerry and his sister. I knew how much he loved her, and I didn't want to be the reason for any strain between them. Things took a darker turn one evening when Olivia came over while I was cooking dinner. Jerry was in the bathroom, and Olivia approached me in the kitchen. She stood behind me, watching as I stirred the pot. I could feel her eyes on me, and it made my skin crawl. Then, without warning, she reached out. "Oops, my hand slipped," she said with a smirk, as she deliberately knocked the pot of stew into the sink. The loud crash echoed through the kitchen, and I stood there, stunned. The stew I'd spent time making was ruined, and Olivia just looked at me with that same smug smile. When Jerry rushed in, she lied effortlessly, saying I had startled her, causing her to drop the pot. That was the moment I realized I couldn't stay silent anymore. After Olivia left, I told Jerry everything: the insults, the attitude, and now this dangerous behavior. He was shocked and apologized profusely. "I had no idea she was acting this way," he said, visibly upset. He promised to talk to Olivia, and the next day he did. Olivia came over to apologize, but I could tell it wasn't sincere. She was just doing it because Jerry had told her to. Her eyes were still cold, and her words felt hollow. A few weeks later, Jerry and I were planning a trip for our anniversary. We had been looking forward to it, a chance to get away, to spend some time together without any distractions. When Olivia found out, she insisted on coming along. "This trip is for us," Jerry explained gently. "We can plan a family trip another time." Olivia wasn't happy, but eventually agreed. The trip was wonderful. Just the two of us, enjoying each other's company without any interruptions. For the first time in a while, I felt truly relaxed. We visited beautiful places, had candle-lit dinners, and laughed without any tension hanging over us. I felt like I had my husband all to myself again. But when we returned, things took an unexpected turn. As we got home, I noticed something felt off. The apartment was too quiet, and there was an unsettling feeling in the air. When I opened the door to our bedroom, I found it nearly empty. My clothes, my personal items, even small keepsakes were gone. Olivia was sitting in the living room, a smug smile on her face. "Oh, you noticed?" "I threw away all your stuff. It was just taking up space," she said coldly. My heart sank, and I felt a mix of anger and disbelief. I decided I had enough. I packed my work tools and left, booking a room at a nearby hotel. When Jerry called, I told him everything. "We need to address this seriously," I said. "Olivia's behavior has gone too far." Jerry agreed, and we decided it was time for Olivia to face real consequences. He stopped paying her tuition, which I had been helping with, and told her she would need to manage her expenses herself. It was a difficult decision, but we both knew it was necessary. When Olivia realized the payments had stopped, she came to Jerry, desperate for help. "Why did you stop paying?" she demanded, her voice filled with panic. "Laura was the one paying for your tuition," Jerry explained. Olivia's face went pale as she looked at me. "Why would you do that?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Because I wanted to support you," I replied. "But your behavior has made it impossible for me to continue." I could see the realization dawning on her. Everything she had taken for granted was slipping away. Eventually, Olivia broke down, apologizing sincerely for the first time. "I'll do anything to stay in school," she pleaded. I looked at her and said, "Then you'll take responsibility. You'll handle all the household chores for a year." She hesitated, but eventually agreed. Over the next year, Olivia's attitude changed. She learned to cook, clean, and take care of the house. Slowly, her demeanor softened, and she began to show genuine appreciation. The once spiteful and entitled teenager was slowly transforming into someone more considerate. By her final year of high school, Olivia had matured significantly. She was accepted into a university and decided to handle her fees on her own, applying for scholarships. I was proud of her growth. She had come a long way from the spiteful girl who had tried to drive me away. She had learned the value of hard work and responsibility, and it showed in everything she did. Today, Olivia is a university graduate, living independently, and we have a good relationship. Jerry and I even welcomed a child recently, and Olivia loves spending time with our little one. She has become an affectionate aunt, and I can see the love she has for our family. It's been a long journey, and there were times I doubted whether things would ever get better. But I'm grateful for how everything has turned out. Olivia's transformation wasn't easy, and it took a lot of patience and tough love, but it was worth it. Our family is stronger now, and I look forward to what the future holds for us. We've all grown in our own ways, Jerry, Olivia, and myself. And now, as I watch Olivia play with our little one, I know that everything we went through has led us to this point, a place of understanding, love, and hope for the future.